Hello and welcome to the Musty Game Dev YouTube channel. I am here with another video and we're getting into game development today. That's what we do. So thanks for joining. Hopefully you will like this video and subscribe and join our game development community in our Discord as well. So if you watched last week's video, we're here in the Playground UEFN project. And you see this flickering going on in my landscape. So this was a problem for me last week, and I had done this before, and I was like wondering why it was flickering so much. So then I realized that I need to double click here. So we have this is like the Y, we have the X and the Z, but it's at 0, 0 here. So if we scale it up a little bit, probably not as large. Let's make that to like 1.0 instead of 0. And then go back to our ruined outpost. And there we go. No more flickering. So I think that happens because there's a collision with like the ground, the cement there as well. And that's all I needed to do. So it wasn't OBS's fault. It wasn't my graphics card messing around. It was really just me forgetting how to do landscape. And that's what happens. You know, just learn, keep making mistakes, and it's all good. So here's the same scene that we have set up. Now we got the actual like landscape in here. And it actually looks a lot nicer because now you got the grass here underground. So this is looking even a lot better than it was before. So cool. Let me go here and save this scene here. Also do a file save all. And we will check in our changes. Updated landscape in the Y position. This might also be the Z because usually it's XYZ, but whatever. To 1.0 instead of 0. All right, we'll submit that. Okay, so now we have the landscape not flickering, which is great. This looks a lot better to the eyes. So sorry about that. I just had to keep on learning. So what we want to do next is we want to start tracking what the player is doing. So we're going to go to content drawer, hit all, and search for tracker. Cool. So we have tracker, this thing, just tracker. I mean, there's just this tracker, but that's a character definition. We want this tracker. This is a tracker device here. We'll put this over here. Up there. Put this away. There we go. Kind of a little bit higher. All right. And then for me to zoom in like that, I just pressed F. So it kind of zooms in and focuses. So I could be up here and be like F, and then there we go. Right? That's pretty cool. So this tracker here can help us track things like eliminations, game completed, game won, round one. There's a lot of stuff it can help with, which is pretty cool. So we have eliminations. And let's say target value of 10, starting value of 0, assign on game start, assign when joining in progress. We want all these checked. Tracker title. And we'll say, let's see, take out zombies to claim fortress. Okay. Now we went a little too long, so let's say we'll say take out zombies. We'll say claim the fortress. Yeah, we'll keep it like that. We'll keep it like that. So it's gonna have its own like HUD widget thing here, so kind of leave that on. We don't need to change it. We could change it to something else that we created, looks like, so that's pretty cool. Make a little custom thing. And then we'll hit advance. Reset on first spawn. Maybe. Valid team would be any right now. Let's see here. Show on HUD. Show progress. And then, oh, that's interesting. Headshots only. That's cool. So I'm looking here to see if there's a way to tag it to something. So I was looking to tag it to like taking out the zombies itself from the creature spawner. So events. Yeah. Okay. When target is reached, complete tracker. Okay. Quest icon. Color. Okay. Well, looks like they may not have that, which is interesting. Okay, so we have the tracker here. Let's see. Maybe we can try this guy. Creature spawner. Maybe we can tag that to something. So we'll limit the number of spawns to 10. And we'll make the wave timer 20. And let's name it a game start. That's true. Let's see. What else do we have here? Oh, on a creature's eliminated. Oh, so you can have events for that. That's pretty cool. Okay. Well, let's hit save. And let's do file, save all. And let's launch a session and try this out. Okay, while that's loading up, let's look at some documentation here. So I have the Unreal Editor for Fortnite documentation up here. Let's type in tracker. Tracker devices. Create and track custom objectives for your players to compete. So use the tracker device to create and track custom objectives that a player can compete and send a signal to another device when the player completes a tracked objective. So see here some code, verse code, using the tracker device in verse. So we can do a subscribe like we did before, on objective completed. Okay. Yeah, because I wanted just to track like not kills on other people, but just kills for just those creatures that are spawned. But it looks like in a way it's kind of doing that because it's the only thing that can happen and everyone's going to be working together. So I think that's going to be okay. Let's look up the creature spawner device because that was interesting that there was events so you can tag track. Let's look at the events. On a creature is eliminated send event 2. So that's pretty cool actually. That's actually a really cool event. I didn't see that before in the verse code. Let's see. Oh shoot. Alright, we're in the game. Let's pick up my weapon here. Let's pick up some more. I gotta fix the ammo thing. All right, so now, so you can see we have in our left-hand side, we have this UI, take out the zombies, claim the fortress. So that's one. So see, it didn't. Okay, so maybe we do need to do some verse code. That's kind of interesting. I thought it would do automatically. Okay, so maybe so maybe we can hook this up. That would be actually really cool. I thought I did it automatically. And I gotta change this ammo. Bam. Taking him out. Taking him out. All right, so that's actually a cool objective. That's what we'll do. That's what we'll do in this video. We're gonna track this, and like I see, I don't have much of a game plan, but over time that will change. I'm just kind of having fun developing, having fun developing. Like that animation, that was pretty cool. I think I eliminated all 10 of them already, so I think we're safe. And then we see here that trigger is still working, which is pretty sweet. We're building, we're kind of building the world. But okay, cool. So that's what we'll do. We're gonna find a way here to track. So have this tracker track our eliminations, and then we'll have some kind of celebration that we have claimed this. I'm calling this like a fortress area. And then that's kind of like what we'll do. We'll do that, and then we can make it so you can like get better weapons once you claim this, and then there'll be like another one somewhere else where you have to go, like another fortress you have to claim, and then you have to like take out the baddies that way. That'd be kind of fun. That'd be kind of fun. All right. Okay, so let's see here. Let me adjust my mic here. All right, so this is what we have here so far. We're not triggering anything in the tracker, but we now know that we'll do this update later. We now know that we can do that there's two events on creatures eliminated, on creatures spawned, and looking at the creature device, here we go, eliminated event. So we just need to listen for this. How to listen for that, that's what we got to learn how to do in this time. And then if we do that, then we can then add to the tracker device we add to the tracker device, we can increment the track value by amount to change on received signal. Okay, yeah. So that's already set to just 1 in our settings. So that would be, let's see here. Looking at our tracker device. Scooch this up just a little bit here. There we go. So amount to change on event right there, set to 1. Okay, cool. All right, so let's end the game. We won't exit the session, we'll just end the game. And let's start coding in our game manager. So first off, what we need to do is we need to have a reference to the creature spawner. So let's say at editable. At editable. Ooh. There we go. And we'll say, call this first creature spawner because I definitely want to make more of these. And then we'll say creature spawner. If you ever don't know how to spell it, I always just come back to this. And we can go up here or go down. Huh. Okay. Go to creature spawner. And then just copy it from here. All right, we're going to initialize it. Just like that. So this is saying we want to create a reference that's going to be editable in the UI. It has to be attached in the UI too. But this is going to be our property or, yeah, I guess property since it's a class, variable, whatever, property. First creature spawner of type creature spawner device, and then we instantiate right here or initialize it with creature spawner device. Okay, so we have that. That's cool. And then we need to tab. There we go. And then we have eliminated event. We'll say subscribe. And then we need to define a function or a method. The documentation for UEFN calls it, I think they call these functions, but since it's within a class and you have the private public kind of attributes, I mean, technically it's a method from a traditional programming standpoint, but we'll just say functions here just to make it simple. So on creature eliminated. invented. And then we'll say first. Spawner, because we'll probably have multiples of these. And then we need, for this listenable, we need to have to define a device AI interaction result. Interesting. What is that? So Control Shift F. See where this is defined. So this is native public. It's a struct. So it needs a source and a target. Okay. So we'll just we will make this private. And then we'll define, let's see, we'll put the type there. And then we'll call this parameter elimination result. If that works, let's see. Function declaration must declare return type or body. Yes, okay. So we'll do that. Shift colon. I'm not gonna return anything, so it should be a void. Okay, cool. And then within here, let's go back to the creature spawner device. Actually, so the source is an agent, the target is an agent. But agent that triggered the interaction, agent targeted by source. So the target's going to be a non-player agent. It's going to be an NPC, so we don't really care about the target, but we do care about the source. And the reason we care about the source is that the tracker device we need to complete it. Or no, not complete. We need to increment. So we can pass an agent right there. So we'll also need, so say editable, and we'll say first tracker. And let's just go up here and copy tracker device. So colon, type tracker device, initialized. Cool. Yeah, so on creature eliminated first spawner in here. There we go. We want, and we may not be able to do it because there may be something else that we need, like a spawn or something, but let's just see if this works. So first tracker dot increment, and then we'll pass in elimination result. dot source. All right, let's see here. This function parameter expects a value type agent, but this argument is incompatible, is an incompatible value type question mark agent. So meaning that we kind of have like a similar thing here, right? Where it could be an agent or it could not be an agent. Let's actually look at that question mark. Make sure we understand what's going on there. So we have this documentation here, constants and variables. Let's see, hopefully it explains it. But yeah, a constant is a location where a value is stored, and this value cannot change during the runtime of the program. Constant creation has the following syntax. So identifier type and then expression, or identifier with the colon equals expression. So you omit the type. So this is an example of a constant. And you just intend for this to never change. That can be helpful if you have values that are just going to be set up as like initial state for a game or a program. So if you always know that you want the enemy AI to produce like 50 points of damage, you can just set a constant to like 50 and just call that variable. So that's super helpful. But that is not what we're looking for. Let's see here. So we have variables here. In addition to the constants described above, Verse also has variables. Variables are similar to constants, but are defined with the keyword var. Oh, so that's the difference. Interesting. Okay, I just learned something because I've been actually using constants a lot. I guess technically you have to use the keyword var, which means you can change their values at any point. And so I'm learning the syntax along with all of you for the first time. So you use var there, and then after you create a variable, you can assign different value to it with the following syntax and set. So that's the difference. Okay, cool. So there's something learned. Then there's global variables. Let's see here. A variable defined in a module is global to any game instance running where the variable is in scope. So you have to have the var, and then you don't have to put global here, but because it's outside, I guess in this case, like outside the class, this could be like a global variable in here. So that's kind of cool. Persistable data. Oh, except for module scope variables associated with the session, a module scoped variable requires persistence, the storing of data beyond the current game. Okay, so this is not what we're looking for, but this is helpful. Okay, let's see, where else can we find this information? Let's go to the verse language reference. All right, let's click on verse language reference here. This is nice. So you can see all the programming language and features here as a reference in this documentation. So we just saw constants and variables, common types, operators. So we have logic for Boolean. That may be what we're looking for. Convert valuable expressions to logic. Yep, I think this is it. Verse uses logic as the type for Boolean values, which means logic only has two possible values, true and false. Both true and false are logic literals when you use them in verse code. The following is an example of how to create a logic variable named target locked. Initialize with the logic literal false. All right, so we just learned that the var is for a variable. If you don't use var, you're creating a constant. So kind of interesting. This is a constant. Can't change this. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, cool. So, here we go. Query. Query expressions use the operator, I guess question mark, or the query operator, and check if a logic value is true. Otherwise, the expression fails if the logic value is false. Determine whether to show the target locked icon if a target is locked. Okay, almost there, almost there. It's not quite what we're looking for. All right, keep digging. Comparable, any rational string, the void type. Okay. Let's see. Operators. Operators might also be. Okay, failure. Maybe it's failures. So the failable expression, failure context. Adjust my mic again. Okay. So I mean, failure context sounds exactly what that error message was referring to, or that documentation was referring to. But maybe control flow. If the if expression is how you make a decision based on one or more conditions about what expressions should be executed next. Okay, so if player fall height is greater than 3.0, then deal damage. Nice. Actually, that could come in handy for one of my islands. Okay. So we've done this before. If, yes, if. And that'd be like something really simple to look up. Access specifiers are important to know as well. Universally accessible. These are actually really, really good to know. Public, scoped. But I'm not seeing anything with the question mark. Here's some attributes. So when we use editable, indicates this field is an exposed property that can be changed directly from UEFN or in the editor. So you don't need to modify the verse code to change its value. So that's one we're using all the time. Learn a lot on this fact-finding mission, but not learning what we first came here for. And I looked at operators, didn't I? Yeah, I thought I did. Okay, here's the query one again. The query operator checks if a logic value is true. See query for more details. But see, that's at the end of the variable name. Where is it at the beginning? I wonder if that's just missing. Yeah, I feel like that's just missing. All right, can't spend all this time here in the documentation. Gotta find answers. Oh, this goes all the way there. Okay. So there's like a UEFN GitHub book that people are slowly creating. I think it's this one. And actually, I need to contribute to this as well. And it's an open source project. It's only has 31 commits. Oh, 2 years ago was the last commit. Oh no. We gotta update this. 2 years is a little old. But maybe they have something in here. Okay, examples. Partials. Nope. Let's see. UEFN essentials. Nope. Verse. Okay, so basics. All right. So comments. If you didn't know before, use the hashtag symbol here, and this will not get compiled. So you can put anything you want. Let's see, anything else. So they kind of have it wrong here, right? So this is a constant, right? Not a variable. So you define a variable like this, and then you update it with the set command or the set keyword. That's what we just read that. So this needs to be updated. Okay, so here's optionals. An optional value is a variable that either does or doesn't have value. Optional values are great when you might have some data or you might not. That's what we're looking for. So question mark or the query operator before the type. The syntax for optional values is query data underscore type, specifically a question mark followed by the name of the data type, i.e. question mark string. We see that maybe MPC name is set to a value of false to begin with. This means we don't have a string value when we define this variable. And because I believe it's like the query operator, right, then it's gonna, the literal value or literal Boolean value of false is great to put in there, because then that lets the compiler know that it's empty. So you can update optionals this way. Again, I have to verify this. And then here we go. So retrieving values with optionals. To retrieve the value of an optional data type, we need to use a logical statement. A logical statement is a construct that can succeed or fail. Those will be covered next. Okay. So name. So this is like you kind of create like a new variable called name, or I guess in this instance maybe a new constant, and you initialize this constant with whatever you have on the right side of the expression, and then you use the query. Okay, so this is kind of making sense a little bit for me. I don't know if it's making sense for anyone else, and I apologize for that. But a query expression, use the operator or the question mark and check if the logic value is true or not. So this is what I was doing here, but they weren't showing us how to use it to like verify, right? And that's what this book is great, right? We need to contribute to it to update it because it's 2 years old. But yeah, that's the power of open source right there. So this is a way to actually verify and retrieve that data. So you don't know for sure if it's in here because it's an optional. And if it does have value in here, so it will pass this if check, then you can do stuff in here. So actually, let's see. Maybe if we Google UEFN optional. Oh yeah, we'll do verse optional. Maybe we'll have some proper documentations. Okay, option. So this is under container types. Oh, that's so frustrating. The option type can contain one value or can be empty. In the following example, maybe a number is an optional integer that contains no value. A new value for maybe a number is then set to 42. And then does it show you how to check? It doesn't show you how to do the if check. Oh, yes, right here, right here. This is what we're talking about. Okay, cool. All right, so that's what we're going to need to do because this source here from the elimination result from the type device underscore AI underscore interaction underscore result is here. Not here, but here. And it's an optional type agent. So there could be a value in there and it could not be. And that's because when we read about this earlier, oh no, this is here. So for the events for a creature spawner, on a creature is eliminated, send event 2. When a creature is eliminated, an event is sent to the selected device, which triggers the selected function. But up here, I think, for any event option, click the option, then select device access. Okay, that's not what I was looking for. Let's see. Okay, here we go. Well, no. There's something that maybe it's in the documentation. Okay, yes, here we go. So source is the agent that has limited the creature. If the creature was eliminated by a non-agent, then source is false, and that's why it's going to be optional. So non-agent, I guess in that case, I guess like an NPC creature maybe? Like if it was like a boar that eliminated the zombie, that would be a non-agent possibly, but something along those lines, right? And then target is a creature that was eliminated. So that would always be true. So it's kind of interesting because I don't know why then when we go up here, this is also optional, but that's how they defined it. But anyways, that's why we have an optional agent type for source. So we can't just directly put this in the increment. We have to retrieve the value using an if statement. So we go if, and then we do, let's say, let's call it agent source. And I'm going to say that this is a constant because we're not using the keyword var. Then we put the question mark or the query operator because this is a query. And then we can do stuff in here like this. And that should be good. I don't know why we're getting a complaint here. Let's see. Expected block got end of line following if. Yeah, that's how it works, buddy. Let's see. Let's look at the documentation. What am I missing? Oh, yes. We need the colon. There we go. We need the colon. So we do the colon. And now we get more errors. Okay, so this is what gets me all verse. I'm following the documentation. Yeah, we followed it. And apparently that was not good enough. Oh wait, that's right. So now we use the query, right? And now we use agent source, our new constant, to be the argument to pass in for that parameter. But why are we getting this? Oh, yes. That's right. We need to put elimination result dot source. There we go. Woo! Read documentation and figuring it out. That's right. I love it. All right, then we're going to hit save. And then we have one more error that we need to deal with. Oh, yes, because we need to actually pass in a function for the subscribe event or subscribe call. Now it's not ready anymore. We'll do file save. Cool. And then we'll go back to the editor, and then we're going to do, let's do file save all. And then we're going to go to verse, build verse code, all green, and we're going to push verse changes because we learned in our last video that if we just push verse changes, it's a lot quicker to get the build. And actually I need to wake up Fortnite here. We might have lost a session. Hopefully we didn't lose a session. Let's push verse changes. Because we didn't change anything in the editor, so should be a much quicker update. And it is. Let's see. Okay. Uh-oh. Zombies. All right, so now I got my gun and I killed one. And, oh, you know what? That's right. Okay, let's end the game. We did need to make an editor change. Does anybody know why? Anyone call it out yet? So we'll go to our game manager device, our custom verse device. And we have all these wonderful things. First creature spawner, first tracker. So we need to actually add these. We click in there, add the creature spawner, add the tracker. Then we'll do a file, save all, and then we'll actually have to push. And I will check in these changes once we get past this point. All right, so this is going to take a little bit longer because it has to validate the new stuff. But that was a little coding adventure. So if I'm critiquing myself, I know that I should probably be more prepared and come in with all the knowledge beforehand so these videos can be quicker and get more to the point. But I don't know. You tell me in the comments below. Do you want me to become more prepared and have an actual like game plan, lesson plan in here? Yeah, I think it's interesting because this is how actually programmers work. We don't know everything off the top of our heads, and we have to go read stuff. And also, since I'm learning verse for the first time, like I'm not even a year into this language, and I don't use it on a daily basis. So I'm still trying to like pick things up as I go along. So, anyways, let me know if you like seeing that process of how programmers are actually like figuring things out on a daily basis, because that what you just watched is exactly what a computer programmer, game developer, game programmer, whatever you're going to call it, is going to do. And now, obviously, once I become more proficient and understand the ways of the verse, understand the ways of the epic, it'll be more natural to me. But until then, I'm just going to do me. And there we go. Now it's like 2, right? So you see that? Now 2 of 10. Let's take these out. Let's take these zombies out. Let's dominate. That's cool. That's very cool. It feels so satisfying to see stuff work in a video game. Like when you do coding in general, it's satisfying, but just like, I don't know, when you see it in a video game and just even seeing the UI update, so satisfying. Let's get to 10. Complete this tracker. Need 2 more. This is a limit to 10, so there we go. There we go. We did it. Oh, yes, sir. That's so cool. We passed by our little trigger there. And coming down to us from the heavens. Oh, that's so cool. Oh, that's awesome. Man, that feels good. And if you followed along and you figured out, you kind of get it now. Now you're like, let's go at light speed. It's like, well, yeah, guess definitely if you want to go light speed, go light speed. No hate for there. I'm just gonna keep going my speed because that's the speed I like to go at. So we'll stop there for today's video. I know it's not as long as I wanted it to be, but we learned a lot, and I think next time what we will do is we'll go over some more like game design stuff, because I think we have like the basics of a decent game. So I think what we should do next is set up a capture zone in this area. So like you have to go inside here, capture the space. And then once you capture the space, then it should show you a bunch of like guns that you can purchase, some ammo, stuff like that. Maybe give you like, yeah, you capture space and it shows up like another gun, like a rocket launcher or something like that, that you can purchase with some monies that you have gotten from capturing. So like, let's say for every elimination, now that we know that we can track elimination events with code, we'll give you some virtual currency. And then once you capture an area, then you're going to get some more virtual currency and you can buy ammo, maybe a rocket launcher, some other stuff. And then we'll go to like the next area where you have to fight even more zombies. And then capture that area. And that's kind of like the game I was thinking about building here with all of you here on YouTube. So thanks for joining the Musty Game Dev. Thanks for being a part of this. And yeah, stay musty. Take care.